But welcome everyone. I see some familiar faces. I think I saw some of these students in our earlier sessions this morning, but if we haven't met yet, my name is Hannah Reese. I work in the Office of Admission as an enrollment manager. I'm joined today by our director, Nikki, from Career Services, and a handful of other wonderful faculty and staff on campus. I did want to briefly mention that John Carroll once again earned the #2 spot among the best regional universities in the Midwest by the U.S. News and World Report. That's because we strive for more than what's required academically, personally, and socially, and empower you to achieve what others see as improbable. We recognize that lifelong exploration connects us to endless discovery, wonder, and joy, so you'll graduate unafraid to pursue the unknown. Of course, as I mentioned, Nikki and her staff will share some more insight that will reiterate these points, but we are excited for you to join us at John Carroll as a Blue Streak. As the session moves through today, please feel free to keep those mics muted. If you do have questions at any point, please put them in the chat and we will address those as they unfold. And of course, at the end, we'll have an open Q&A session. But without further ado, I'll hand it over to Nikki.
Great, thank you, Hannah, and welcome everybody. Thanks for choosing to come and learn a little bit more about John Carroll Career Services today. Like Hannah said, I'm Nikki Marzano. I'm the Director of Career Services. I have about a 10-minute presentation for you on what we do in Career Services, how we do it. I have some information about our student outcomes, and a little bit more about how Career Services can support you during your time at John Carroll. When I'm done, we'll have a panel with a student, a recent alum, and one of our career advisors. So as Hannah said, please start putting your questions in the chat whenever you're ready, and we should have plenty of time to get to questions at the end. So Career Services is here to help students and alumni, and I mention alumni because we are a lifetime service, help make students and alumni make career-related decisions, develop skills to achieve their goals, and connect them to opportunities. So I'm going to talk about that first one, career-related decisions. These are not about what you're going to do for the rest of your life. We are here to help you with your next step, whatever that might be. So maybe you're undecided about choosing a major. That's okay. You've got time to explore and take different classes. But if it's something that's overwhelming or you feel stuck, our career advisors can help you with making that decision. We have different assessments that can help identify your strengths and preferences, and knowing those can be very useful in choosing a major. About 50% of college students change their major at least once, so this is really common. And again, sometimes this can feel a little overwhelming if maybe you always thought you were going to major in a certain subject, and then you get to school and you find out that those classes maybe aren't what you thought they were going to be like. We can help with, again, figuring out what's going to be a better fit for you and choosing a new major. And maybe you love the classes that you're taking, you love the subject, but you don't know what you can do with that major, and we can help with that too. The second thing I mentioned is that we help you develop the skills that you need to reach your goals. People change jobs on average 11 times in their working lifetime now. So we're going to teach you the skills you need to look for jobs throughout your life, so you will always have that skill. John Carroll has 2 professional development programs, and these are things that really set us apart from other schools. They're very unique. We have the Bowler College of Business's Bowler Professional Development Program, which is also known as BPD. If you were choosing between attending this Career Services session or the BPD session that's happening right now, don't worry, because that session is being recorded and you will be able to watch that later. BPD is managed through the Bowler College of Business. Career Services helps support that program by delivering some workshops for them or meeting with students for specific assignments. We are, of course, available to meet with business students anytime for one-on-one appointments for any kind of career-related questions. But that program is specifically managed through their school, and it is a 4-year program where every major takes the same curriculum throughout. The College of Arts and Sciences Professional Development Program is managed through our office, Career Services. Tane Dallas, who's the program manager for that program, will be on the panel at the end. So if you have any specific questions about what we call CAS PDP, Tane will be here to help answer those. That program is really special because it is unique to each major. You know, an education major doesn't necessarily need what a chemistry major needs. So we've customized that by academic department, and it's exciting that faculty are very supportive of weaving this program into their majors. Both programs are competency-based. That means you're not just going to sit through workshops. You're going to have to show that you've learned the skills that we're teaching you. And again, we are always available to meet with students from both the College of Arts and Sciences and Fuller College of Business for one-on-one appointments related to any career-related questions. And the third thing we do is help connect students to opportunities. There are many, many networking events that happen, and the offerings are there. It becomes really up to the student to take advantage of these opportunities. So we will arrange career panels where students can learn more about industries and career paths within specific fields. Most often, the people on those panels are alumni who can really speak to what it was like to go from John Carroll into the workforce and what they learned at John Carroll and how that will apply and help move a career forward. We schedule multiple career fairs throughout the year, and these are great opportunities to get face-to-face in front of an employer. You know, even if you aren't at a point where maybe you're looking for an internship or job, these are great career research gathering events. So you're always welcome to attend a career fair and stop by to talk to an employer, learn more about what they do, learn more about their industry. We use a career management system called Handshake. It is one platform that schools and employers join, which means we have thousands of employers posting opportunities all over Northeast Ohio, but all over the country as well. This also is where we house on-campus employment. So if you are interested in working while a student, you'll find open job opportunities in Handshake. And finally, I want to mention that we are part of the Jesuit Career Center Consortium. This means we have a reciprocity agreement with the 26 other Jesuit colleges in the country. And those schools have all agreed to allow access to a varying degree, depending on the school, to any student from a Jesuit university. So if you are from Chicago or Baltimore and you want to find internship opportunities closer to home, we can help connect you with Loyola Chicago or Loyola Maryland's Career Center. They'll give you access to their job posting systems and a chance to talk to one of their career advisors, which can be really helpful. So internships are a great opportunity to take what you're learning in the classroom and apply it in the workplace or in the lab. You'll find John Carroll students are very engaged in this process. There's a survey that John Carroll participates in called the National Survey of Student Engagement. That most recent survey found that 81% of our students did internships compared to 68% of peer schools. Our own at graduation survey of 2020 graduates showed that 84% of our students did at least one internship during their time at John Carroll. And of those, 80% were paid opportunities. However, an unpaid opportunity can be a fantastic experience, and we don't want anyone to miss out on a great opportunity. So our office also has funding options for low or unpaid internships. So those can be a viable choice for everybody. Our location in Cleveland makes it really easy to do internships year-round compared to maybe a rural school where those students mostly do their internships in the summer. We have students doing internships in the spring, in the fall, as well as summer. Our size is also a benefit, especially for students interested in STEM research. Many of our students will do research with faculty, and this can be a great experience and looks really great on grad school applications. So as a first-year student, an internship really shouldn't be your top priority. My career services advice to you is to focus on getting a strong academic footing and figuring out what your story is going to be. So what do I mean by what's your story? It's thinking about getting involved, looking at all the experiences you've had. So this might include part-time jobs, on-campus employment, like I mentioned, getting involved in clubs and activities, because all of these things are going to help you figure out what you like to do, and equally important, help you figure out what you don't like to do. These experiences are also where you're going to develop transferable skills. So the customer service skill that you exhibited at your summer ice cream shop job is a skill that you will use later on in the professional workplace. And our office can help you figure out what transferable skills you've been using and learning and help get those onto resumes and on into your stories when you interview. These stories are also what's going to set you apart when you're applying for jobs and applying for grad school. So John Carroll is all about experiential learning. So this includes leadership programs, study abroad, immersion experiences through campus ministry. You're going to hear a lot about experiential learning today. And so what that means is the learning that you get from all of your varied experiences. And so where does career services fit in here? We can help you translate those experiences into those transferable skills, help you get that experience onto your resume, help you be able to talk about it to employers, and again, help you figure out what you like and what you don't like. So here's an idea of what our students are doing after graduation. As I mentioned, we do a survey literally at graduation. And in 2020, 70% of our graduates were either employed, had accepted a full-time job, committed to a year of voluntary service for the military, or were in grad school. Keep in mind, when at graduation, some students are waiting to hear back on offers. They chose to start their job search after they had completed school. And some industries and jobs simply are only hired when they have an opening. And so for some specific kinds of roles, you kind of have to wait until you're ready to start working to really start pursuing those. We also do a 1-year out survey with institutional research, and the 2019 grads that we surveyed in 2020, 90% of those were employed, committed to service, or in grad school. I've highlighted some brand name companies and grad schools where our 2020 students went here. But what I really want to focus on is that 140 employers hired our students in 2020. So this just goes to show that our students go everywhere into all different kinds of roles. They have fantastic experiences at maybe companies that aren't necessarily the brand name companies. Of those 140, 18 hired more than one, which really speaks to how sought after our students are. We get great feedback from employers about how prepared our students are and how they present themselves. So I'm ready to introduce our panel. Before I do, I want to point out the URL at the bottom of this screen. If you're interested in more information about our student outcomes, that's all on our website. So jcu.edu/student-life/career-services, and look for outcomes. And you can see the last 4 or 5 years of outcomes that we have on that page. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and introduce everybody. Why don't we do a wave as I'm introducing. The first person I'm going to introduce is Tane Dallas. She is one of our professional career advisors in our office. She is a double John Carroll alum. She was an exercise science major in undergrad, and she recently completed her master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. Tane, as I mentioned, runs the College of Arts and Sciences Professional Development Program. She's also a career advisor and meets with students for one-on-one appointments. We have Abby McNutt. Abby is also going to be a double alum from John Carroll. She graduated in 2019 with a marketing major from Boulder and is finishing this semester her MBA with a focus in human resources. Abby also happens to be a graduate assistant in our office, so has experience meeting with students, but I asked her to be on here because she's an example of a student that was really engaged in undergrad, had an internship in a field that she decided she wasn't interested in, but through some skills she's learned through professional development, was able to turn that internship into a full-time job. So that's a story you might want to ask Abby about. And then I also have Catherine Peak. There she's waving. She's kind enough to do this on a break from work. So that's why she's in her car right now, and her denim, because she works for Lucky Brand. So Katie is a bio major that's going to graduate at the end of this semester. She has been accepted to medical school and engaged with career services in a number of different ways. So please feel free to ask her about the student experience of working with career services. So I think Hannah's going to start off.
Yes, we had several questions come through, so we will get to all of them. Please be patient. I know there's lots of good questions here, so we will certainly address them in the order that they came in. The first question was, when do you need to declare your major for students? At what time?
Yeah, so this is something you'll work with your academic advisor on. They're going to help work you through that timeline. I would say most students end up declaring by the end of their sophomore year, but it can vary a little bit major to major. Abby and Catherine, when did you both declare your major as undergrads?
So I was a part, I think Buller's a little bit different now, but coming into John Carroll as a freshman, I knew that I was interested in business, but I didn't necessarily know that marketing was going to be the major of choice for me. So thankfully, if you are interested in the Buller College of Business, or if you're not even sure that that's the path for you, John Carroll offers an integrative core that you are able to take kind of a different variety of classes so that you can kind of feel out what you might be interested in, as well as if you are a business student but not necessarily sure which major. The Buller College is awesome in the way that you're able to take some accounting classes, some finance classes, econ and marketing and management and human resources. So then you have the opportunity to kind of feel out which one of those may be the best fit for you. So I think honestly, I didn't even choose a major. I knew like maybe second semester freshman year that definitely business was for me, but I didn't land in marketing until my junior year. So it's a nice little process there to be able to kind of discern which way you are headed.
I knew my major coming in. I was actually part of a 4+4 program with Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine when I first came in to medical school. I mean, not medical school, when I first came into John Carroll. So I was kind of a different story for that program because you kind of had to be biology, chemistry for the MCAT and everything. But through internships that actually Tane helped me set up, and through different volunteering experiences, I decided to actually change where I was kind of focusing on my major. I actually just joined the Neuroscience program after having internships that regarded research. So that's kind of how I did, since the Neuroscience program is really based on research. Yeah.
So as you'll see from Abby and Catherine, there's usually not one set timeline. It can really vary student to student, major to major, but we here at Career Services are here to help you with that. So if you're not sure what your major is, we do offer assessments to help you assess your skills and your interests to look at what might be a good fit for you and help you with that exploration.
Thanks, Ting. There's a couple of questions that are similar around international experience opportunities and whether study abroad offers internships.
Yeah, I can start off with this one. One resource we do have in our repertoire at Career Services is a site called Going Global that does have international opportunities posted on there. So that is something that we can help you work through and find those opportunities, but also looking if there's any alum in the different cities or countries you're looking to study abroad or just do an internship abroad in to help you get connected to them as well.
Okay. Abby, do you have any thoughts around that? Did you know of students who had those kind of opportunities?
I know many students that went abroad. I don't know too many that worked while they were there, but I definitely know that whether that be a semester option for you, I know our Office of Global Education is an outstanding resource to look into there. And they'll be able to kind of guide you through that process. And like I said, if it's not throughout your semester abroad, maybe there's like a small spring break opportunity or a summer opportunity, and you're able to work out working visas in that office as well, and figure out the opportunities. I know if John Carroll doesn't have the opportunities that you're looking for exactly, I know many students have worked with whether it be through the reciprocity program with all the different Jesuit schools, and then any other school, they're able to connect you to opportunities outside of just the international programs that John Carroll has. So for example, one student, or I think there was a couple of students that John Carroll doesn't have a program in Prague, but they were really dedicated that they wanted to study abroad in Prague. So the Office of Global Education was able to help them get connected to schools that did have a program, and they were able to kind of work with them and have their abroad experience that they wanted through additional schools and other opportunities. So if you have a dream to work abroad and have an internship abroad while you're studying, I can confidently say I'm sure people are willing to work with you to figure out how we can make that happen.
Thanks, Abby. The next question, we'll also start with Tane, but get Katie and Abby's thoughts on. How competitive is the internship process? Does pretty much every student who wants to do one get the opportunity?
Yeah, so the sorry, go ahead, Catherine. I cut you off.
Well, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say it's a little bit more competitive for the STEM majors since there are less opportunities, but there are opportunities and you can find them. I did an internship at Akron Children's Hospital in the Heart Center. I also was going to do one at the Cleveland Clinic doing research, which is really cool because the STEM majors have a specific internship for people who would like to apply to the Cleveland Clinic, and I think they have 8 to 10 spots a year, which is really amazing, that connection. And I also applied for one at the Red Cross for disaster relief, but it unfortunately was also canceled because of COVID, so just the COVID effect. But I think most of my friends in Bowler School, they all got internships, which is really cool. But I know it is definitely more competitive in the STEM, and not everybody who gets applies in STEM programs gets an internship, but there also are internships within John Carroll that are more research based, like the SURF program.
Abby, do you want to talk about your internship experience? And then we can kind of talk about in general some opportunities.
Yeah, so similar to how Katie said, Bowler does, and I think Bowler and communications and a lot of the more business focused majors do have quite a few other opportunities, whether they be paid or unpaid. But I think in terms of competition, I think that it just kind of depends on where you want to work. Some companies have more limited options in terms of internships, while others have huge programs with 100+ interns each season that may or may not be a little bit more competitive. So I think it really just depends on what you're interested in and where you're interested in interning at. But similar to how Katie said, if you want an internship, I can guarantee that at some point in your collegiate career that we can help you find an internship. So I think, like, thinking back on my internship experience, so I had my first internship from the summer after my sophomore year into my junior year, and then a different opportunity from the spring semester into the fall semester of my junior and senior year. So I think if I had to pinpoint one thing that has set me up for success in my career, it was internships and the opportunity to put what you're learning in the classroom to work in a professional setting. I think there really is nothing better than the combination of those two things. And I definitely couldn't have done it without taking advantage of all of the professional development resources, whether that be the BPD program within Bowler or career services, just preparing you for even how to start searching for internships. And that's a lot of what we see. Then from that point, like making sure your resume is nice and tailored to the jobs that you're applying for. And then even from there, like how to prepare for your interview, a mock interview. And then it's really just kind of a nice, easy step-by-step process to set you up for success into that internship opportunity. So like I said, I can't speak highly enough of internships. And like Nikki mentioned, I've been lucky enough to build a professional network within one of my internship opportunities that has led me to an outstanding intern experience, which made me realize that I don't want to be in marketing, which helped me kind of shift gears a little bit in my grad studies, which now, since I took some time off to kind of focus on what I wanted to do exactly, and now that I've been figuring it out throughout the MBA program, I was able to go back to that same company in a different department. So if that's not a good example of how internships can really set you up for success, I don't know what is. So definitely highly recommend.
Great, thank you both. And the last piece I'll add here is we do have our career management platform, Handshake, that Nikki mentioned earlier, that has thousands of opportunities for internships and jobs. They have on-campus internships as well as off-campus internships, so we can help you use that resource to help you find the internship you desire.
Hannah, I know we're getting really close to 12:45. Should we do one more? And then between Hannah and I, we can get responses back to students on these, or to the prospective students on the other questions.
Yes, absolutely, because I know some of them also will probably be lengthier. So I don't want anyone to feel as though we're not getting to your questions. Unfortunately, we have so many, we're just out of time. So I will absolutely copy and paste everything that's in the chat, and we will get you answers. The other thing I'll do is put my email in the chat. So if there is something that you want more information about, or perhaps something we discussed sparked another question that you didn't have the opportunity to submit, please feel free to shoot me an email, and I'll make those connections for you.
Yeah, and you're absolutely welcome to reach out directly to us. We're careerservices@jcu.edu. I'll take one question real quick that I can answer. Will there be Immersion Experiences in 2022? And how do I learn more about the JVC, the Jesuit Volunteer Corps program? So Immersion Experiences are run through campus ministry. And Hannah, correct me if I'm wrong, but if in 2022 they can do those things in person again, they will be doing them. Like, we all want to get back out there.
Yep, absolutely. I think Dr. Brosman said something earlier this morning. God and governor willing, we want to bring back, that experience for our students. We know that our global studies are such a huge draw for our John Carroll students, and as soon as it is safe and as soon as we are allowed to offer those experiences to you, that's absolutely something we plan to do.
And our office helps campus ministry. It's really their event that we help support. They do a career fair style event for year of service programs. And so Jesuit Volunteer Corps would attend that event, and you'd be able to meet with them face to face. But campus ministry would also kind of have some of those relationships there that they can introduce students. Is it hard to get an internship in a city other than Cleveland? Could I get one in my home city? Go ahead, Ting.
Yeah, so here, this is where Handshake can really come into play. You can filter those internship opportunities by location. So you could put, the city you're from, Buffalo, Chicago, Detroit, wherever that is. As well as I'll mention that we do have reciprocity with the other Jesuit schools. That's what Abby was mentioning earlier, that we can, if you aren't finding the opportunities through our Handshake, we can connect you to their website, their career services, where they can help you hopefully find more opportunities in that city that you're looking for.
Thank you, Tane. I just put career services email address in the chat. Hannah, do we need to wrap it up? I'd love to keep chatting, but I know they have places to be.
Yes, I know there are several other sessions today, so I don't want to run up against our other offerings this afternoon, but I do want to thank you all, of course, to our John Carroll team for taking some time, our students, our staff. We certainly appreciate you. You do so much for our students, and today is just a small example of that. So we thank you for your time. To our future Blue Streaks on the call, I hope you learned a little bit more about everything that's available to you. But at this time, I will let you go. I know you probably want to stretch your legs or get a snack before you join the next session. So please feel free to do so at this time, and I'm sure I will see you later this afternoon.
Bye, thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thanks.